Hi everybody, I'm Julie, writer and director of the indie nerdy comedy Geek Loves Punk. I'm also going to be working on 2 features this month, or this year. You're about to watch a really great video about my favorite author. Enjoy. Hi, I'm Julie, writer and director of the indie nerdy comedy Geek Loves Punk. You can learn more about me below. And in this video, I just wanted to talk about my favorite author. His name's Steven Pressfield, as you saw in the thumbnail, and his work really changed my life for the better. But the first thing I'm going to do is I made a YouTube video about motivation, and someone left a comment which inspired this video. So I'm going to go ahead and read that comment. Okay, the person's name is Kelly S. Okay, here's what it says. She said, "Also, I did drink 1 beer prior to this, so yeah, okay." But Kelly S. said in a comment on my video about motivation, she said, she's talking about Steven Pressfield. She said, "I love that the author sent you some autographed copies. It is my strong belief that we need to send love letters instead of hate mail. I grew up in a family that was angry and complained all the time." Yeah, I relate to that. "And yet, I found later that you do get more from the world when you send out love instead of hate." I agree with that. Even the more love I send out in the San Francisco Bay Area where I live, I got better jobs. I mean, there's more to it, but still. Also, I recommend a book, What Color's Your Parachute, as far as job hunting. It's my most popular video. But I agree with her. The more I send out love, like, I started getting better jobs and that kind of thing. Okay. Especially in San Francisco. So, basically, it was my soft skills that got me better jobs. Okay. But all jobs are good jobs, you know what I mean? You're always lucky to be employed. Okay, the rest of the comment that she said. "Write reviews of your favorite restaurants, books, movies, etc. Too many people focus on the negative thinking it will make them feel better or superior for sure." And then she says, buzzer, buzz, she says, "Doesn't work that way, exclamation point. Keep up the excellent motivational work that you do, Julie, exclamation point." This comment is good. "I look forward to reading Mr. Pressfield's books, exclamation point." Like 5 of them. What a great comment. Now that I read it out loud, that's amazing. So that was Kelly S. She left that comment on a video that I put about motivation. Okay. I'm reading this from my computer. I'm going to put my computer away. Yeah, so I guess I was like networking, but I went to a marketing conference and I took like a marketing course, and they said like when you're doing YouTube or like social media that they said it's good to kind of just talk about stuff you love, and that's kind of, or go the positive route on social media, and that's the route I wanted to go with overall, just talking about stuff I love. Yeah, I talked about The War of Art, which is a really good book. So this is The War of Art, and I did a review of it, and at this point it's a pretty popular book. I did a review of The War of Art, and then people like to hear nice things about themselves, I think. And sometimes they don't get to hear nice things about themselves, like, as often as they should, in my opinion. So I sent the YouTube video that I made, I emailed it to Steven Pressfield. Just, it's nice to hear good things about yourself, you know? And I told him, because I'm an indie filmmaker and I finished a feature film, I told him if I'd never read this book, I never would have finished a movie, like, ever. And this book, I'll link to the video, but this book is a philosophy book, and it's all about, like, kind of like fighting your inner demons to, like, finish your life's work. And the other thing that he talks about in this book, and I already kind of talked about it, but this book saved my life because on a spiritual level, like, it helped me understand, like, why I'm here. And for me, it's storytelling. And there's a lot of reasons why I'm here, for sure, but, like, for sure, like, my calling in life is storytelling. My calling in life is filmmaking. And I have a day job, and my calling in life also is to be loving and kind to my friends and family. So I have a lot of callings, for sure. But as far as, like, when he's talking about art, like, the thing you like to do, the thing you feel called. He calls it by the muses. I love that. But I for sure feel called by the muses to make movies. And he is a writer. In my heart of hearts, I'm a writer too. So he talks a lot about like writing and stuff. About like the journey of being a writer, because it's its whole other thing. So I sent him the YouTube video of the review, you know, just because it's nice to hear nice things about yourself. And he said, he emails me, and this is just really cool. He emails me and he's like, hey, like give me your address and I'll send you a care package. I was like, what? And this is kind of near like the global pandemic. This is while it was happening. And I was like, okay, like I totally trust him. So I sent him my address, and he's in Southern California. I'm in Northern California. And he sent me 3 autographed books for free. Okay, so I'll show you that. Okay, I get this package. I sent him my email. He totally mailed me this package. It's just, he like went to the post office. Like, what a nice guy. And he sent me all 3 of these books, and they're like autographs. So this is just a really nice guy. Like, such a cool guy. Like, autographed, The Artist Journey, Turning Pro. Just really cool. Like, this is so cool. And the knowledge, what a nice guy. And so, such a nice guy. And so that's what Kelly was talking about. Okay, so in this video, I already read his books, and I can show you I have a lot of when I like something, like, yeah, I want the swag. So like, I have a favorite pop punk band called MXPX. I like having the MXPX swag. Or I have a favorite cover band called Evan and Zane, and I like having like that merch, if you will. So yeah, my favorite author, one of my favorite authors is Steven Pressfield, and I like having, you know, the swag, in this case his books. Okay, so I'm gonna give like 3 reasons why Steven Pressfield is my favorite author. Yeah, one of my favorite authors of all time. I gotta tell you, like, if we're talking classics, I really like Charles Dickens, and I'm listening to a book about Charles Dickens right now. And well, there's a lot of authors I like, but modern days, Steven Pressfield is one of my favorite authors. Okay, so, and then I'm going to show some more of his swag. Okay, the first reason why he's one of my favorite authors, he said I watch a lot of his interviews, and I get it. He says, like, he does not want to be known as a self-help person. I get it. First of all, it can be very lucrative to do self-help. Some of those people make millions of dollars, but I get it. So I want to say this, and even the other books I showed you. It's not a self-help book. I would call it a philosophy book. It's a philosophy on life. I wouldn't put it in the self-help category, but it's more about philosophy. Okay. So, and he also writes fiction books. He wrote The Legend of Bagger Vance, which was turned into a movie. That was his big hit. So was Gates of Fire. Here's Gates of Fire. It's a really good book. As you can see with my bookmark, still reading it, but it's a really good book. Okay, so, and then I'll show you my swag. But, okay, my number 1 reason that I really like Steven Pressfield is because he's good at cutting to the chase as far as his nonfiction. So, yeah, like, when I read The War of Art, and it completely changed my life for the better, because it was like, oh, okay, I'm not crazy. Like, me wanting to be a writer, and wanting this to be, feeling like it's my life calling, or a storyteller as a filmmaker, I was like, The War of Art. Also, I have a lot of his books on Audible, and I listen to them I've listened to them a bunch of times, but I listen to them as part of my commute to and from work, because I ride the bus. So it's just when life seems hard or sad. There's another thing he said in an interview that I really like. He said, if you're a writer, you should like, he says, he says, like, in the book, like, embrace the misery, so to speak. And, like, I want to say, like, there's a lot of things about my life I love. There's just, I haven't quite accomplished, like, all the goals in my life. So, so when things can be a little miserable, it's like, I'm not surprised anymore. And then he said, to be a good writer, he said, you kind of want some of the misery because it makes you a good writer. And he said in an interview, like, he's like, I don't mean to be facetious, but, like, you should want to be miserable as a writer. Because he's like, it makes you a better writer. And I was like, for sure, he's right. Like, the thing that makes you, today I was feeling a little sad, but the thing that makes you sad, the thing that makes you sad is the thing that makes you good at writing. And it's true. That's totally true. Like, yeah. Oh, there's a writer's strike right now. I support it. Right now I'm writing spec screenplays, as in they're my own projects. No one's paying me to do them. So, and I'm not going to try to sell them until the writer's strike is over. By the way, that's what's happening in the WGA. I'm not going to cross the picket line. So they have a phone number you can call. I do want to know, because I was going to start shooting 2 movies this year. So I need to ask them, is it okay to shoot my own movies? Because it's totally outside of the Hollywood system. So they have a phone number. I'm going to call them that. I'm going to call them. But right now I'm just working on my own spec scripts, not crossing the picket line. Okay, that's what's happening right now. Okay. Okay, which, yeah, okay. But yeah, like, he's good at cutting to the chase, because he basically, by using a term called resistance in the War of Art, he's like, that's kind of behind everything, and then just every day you have to fight resistance and do the work, make your art. And he's right. Like, I feel bliss in so many different ways, like when I'm hanging out with my family or having a good time with my friends, or you know, I feel bliss in so many different ways. But I also really feel bliss when I am working on, almost on a spiritual level, when I'm writing and working on movies. And there's that Pixar movie called Soul, and they kind of picked up on this a little bit. But yeah, like, I when I'm working on movies or writing, that's when I feel bliss, or my soul feels alive. And he talks about that in The War of Art. Okay. So he cuts to the chase, and he's good at getting to the point. And these are his, I'm going to call them philosophy books, nonfiction books. See how they're kind of short? So, like, you know, you could read this in an hour or two. This is Turning Pro, Tap Your Inner Power, The Artist's Journey. See how it's not super thick? Yeah, The Artist's Journey, the Wake of the Hero's Journey. Yeah, sorry, it's at a weird angle. The Wake of the Hero's Journey and the Lifelong Pursuit of Meaning. Yeah, and you see, like, you could read this in, like, an hour if you wanted to. You could dedicate, like, an afternoon to it. And I would start with, yeah, War of Art. See how small it is. This is my original copy. That's why it's all beat up. But you can see, like, it's short. You could read it in, like, an afternoon. Or if you get it on Audible, you could listen to it in, like, an hour or two, and, like, you get a good kick in the pants, so to speak, to, like, do your life's work. But yeah, like, when I'm feeling sad or what have you, like, I know, like, working on my art every day is what makes me, I have to do it. Like, it's what gives my life meaning. I feel called by the muses, etc. Like, it's what, I don't know, makes me feel, like, pure bliss. So anyway, in these philosophy books, he, like, cuts to the chase. Here's 2 others. It's Put Your Ass Where Your Heart Wants to Be. Yeah, this is a great book about how I should move to Los Angeles. He actually messaged me on Instagram. I think I asked a question. He was advertising this book, and he was like, you know, San Francisco's great, is what he said, but he's like, the industry's in LA, and I'm like, totally. Hopefully this writer's strike, the last one lasted 3 months, so hopefully at the end of 3 months, like, yeah, they should pay everyone in the industry, like, a good wage. And what's happening in the writer's strike is relevant to, like, every industry ever in the United States, so basically like the people at top are being a little too greedy with the money. Anyway, this is Do the Work by Steven Pressfield. But these are little chicken nugget books that cut to the chase. And also, I joined, he did something called, yeah, he had a publishing house called Black Irish Books. And in that one, okay, here it is. Yeah, I got the swag. I joined his, he had this group, Black Irish. This is the hat I got. But it was from his little publishing company, so I got Black Irish, the hat, as you can see it. Ugh. I got the hat, Black Irish hat. Okay. Okay. He sent like this, this thing, and it's, you can see that. Okay. So you got this postcard when you joined the Black Irish. He did this thing where he sent out, he calls them jabs. Yeah. It's really good. This is really cool. Okay. So these jabs, you'd get them every month, and here they are. I really like these jabs from Steven Pressfield. Oh, they're upside down. Okay. I really like these jabs from Steven Pressfield because I use these. So the point of this, let's say you're working on a screenplay and on spec. Let's say I'm working on a screenplay on spec because I'm not crossing a picket line. Okay, because the writer's on strike. But yeah, let's say you're working on a screenplay, and the reason he created these is like you're kind of stuck or whatever. So so I had to like, yeah, you're kind of stuck. So let's say you're writing your screenplay and you're like, am I getting it right? Like you're trying to write a really good villain. So, and let's say you're like, oh, I need some tips. So like here's an example of one of the jabs, like Bad Guys Part 4. So there's 4 parts where he writes about bad guys, but continuing thoughts on the villain in film and fiction. So let's say you're writing a screenplay and you're like, I haven't quite cracked this villain. You can like grab one of these little jabs, look how small they are, and you can just go through them and like, and it gives you tips on how to write a good villain. And it's short and it kind of just cuts to the chase. It gets to the point. Yeah, there's another one. There's just a lot of good stuff in here. Make your hero. Yeah, like here's another one, like make your hero suffer, which is true. Like, you know, in good writing, like make them suffer. But yeah, anyway, so these are little jabs where I still use them. This was a year or two before the pandemic happened, but I still use them. I literally used these last week when I was redoing the structure of a screenplay on spec. Not crossing a picket line. Okay, so he's good at cutting to the chase. The second thing I really like about his books is his books saved my life. They did save my life. Like, I, on a regular basis, listen to his books on Audible. And his book, yeah, his book, Put Your Ass Where Your Heart Wants to Be. Yeah. So with that book, this one came out last year. But okay, because of this book, I was kind of scared to go to LA because you hear all kinds of rumors or what have you. Okay, but I went to LA in December. Yeah, this came out in May. Around my birthday. Okay, so this past December, I went to Los Angeles for the first time because of this book and my favorite cover band. And I had the time of my life. Like, it completely blew my mind. I couldn't believe how much fun I had. Like, and I'm like a chubby, you know, pretty much gay, nerdy, you know, I just can't believe how much fun I had in LA. And people were really nice. I was like, okay, cool. So, but anyway, so yeah, his books have saved my life in so many different ways. To help me, like, realize what my calling in life is. Like, to tell good stories and to care about people for sure. Okay. The last thing I want to say is about Steven Pressfield, because now I'm going to talk about his fictional books. Here's one more nonfiction book, Nobody Wants to Read Your Shit, and Other Tough Love Truths to Make You a Better Writer. This is a really good book too, and it's a little chicken nugget book. But it's basically, it sounds cynical, but it's not. He's just saying, like, you really have to make your writing good because people don't really want to read or some people don't like to read, so although the book industry is doing really well, but this book is really good because it's like, yeah, like sometimes people just don't feel like reading, so you just really have to make your writing good. And I'm not worried, knock on wood, I'm not too worried about ChatGPT, the AI writing. I think the AI writing is fine if you're doing sort of like an encyclopedia, you know what I'm saying? It's very useful, but I'm not worried about, knock on wood, I'm not worried about AI, artificial intelligence, like writing. Yeah, they're not gonna replace Stephen King or Aaron Sorkin, or you know what I mean. Like I'm just not worried about that kind of stuff. There's just no way, you know. Or Bob Dylan, like as far as songwriting, like, or the Beatles or whatever, or Sade. Like I'm not that worried about artificial intelligence. Okay, but yeah, my third tip is that he's really talented. So okay, so yeah, he's really talented, and so. It's an easy read when I read his books. So I already read The Knowledge, and it's about when he was a taxi driver, and it's a really good book, and it was a really easy read. I really enjoyed reading it. So yeah, and you know, he autographed it, and it's just cool. But this book's super good. Like, it's a really good read. It's an easy read. I really enjoyed it. Gates of Fire by Stephen Pressfield. This is the one I travel with, and you can see I'm not quite finished with it, but this is a really good book because it's about the 300 soldiers. It's basically the Battle of Thermopylae. Yeah, there's a lot of like ancient words used, so I don't want to say the words wrong, but this is a really good book about it's basically about adversity and honor, and it's a really good book. And then the other two books, I haven't had a chance to read them yet, although this is nonfiction, but this is Government Cheese, which I totally want to read. And then it's on, as you can, I have a whole deck of books. And then A Man at Arms, and I got it autographed too. Let's see. I bought the autographed version because, yeah. Okay. But he's a really good writer, so it's reading his books are really super easy to read because they help and there's always like a really good message. So yeah, so that's why Stephen Pressfield's one of my favorite authors. He's good at cutting to the chase when it comes to his nonfiction books, like really good writer. His books totally saved my life. I recommend them if you're any kind of artist. And by the way, everyone's an artist, like whatever your medium is. Everyone's an artist, so you know, you don't have to be a painter to be an artist, but painters are awesome. Painters are definitely artists, but you know what I mean, like everyone's an artist. It's not some exclusive club, like everybody is an artist. Okay, and the third thing I really like about him is he's like really talented, so yeah. Okay, so okay, so in conclusion, yeah, Stephen Pressfield is my favorite author. I totally recommend his stuff. He's the reason why I started getting into filmmaking, why I made my first film, why I'm about to make my 2 next films. I'm gonna call that WGA hotline. It's like, is that okay? I'm like 1,000% right now outside of the Hollywood system, so like, you know, but still, like, one day I could be part of the WGA, and it's like, you know, I don't want to break any rules. Okay, so yeah, I support the strike that's happening right now. So, but yeah, he's my favorite author. I totally recommend everything he has to say. To all the artists out there, whoever you are, writers, like, like, I recommend his stuff, like, about, he cuts to the chase where, like, what's the purpose of life? Why are you here? And for me, I'm here to obviously love my family and friends. Excuse me. And I'm here to, like, amplify the message of love through my filmmaking. But I'm gonna make, like, all kinds of different genres of film. But yeah, for sure. So yeah, Stephen Pressfield is my favorite author. I showed you all my Stephen Pressfield swag. Okay, and then last little thing I'm gonna say, you know what? It's just about, well, okay, so Stephen's really good at, like, at philosophy. If you want tips on, like, structure, how to structure your day, I would recommend Brendan Burchard. his 5x50 formula, that's what got me structuring my day in a way where I could do the day job stuff and come home and get my work done. And so I have a day job, so I get home from my day job, and today I'm shooting this on a Sunday, my day off. But I get home from my day job, I meditate for about 10 minutes, or take a nap for 10 minutes, and then for an hour, I work on like movie stuff, screenplay stuff, that kind of thing. And then I have a late dinner. So that's how I was able to, like, you know, get in gear where I'm working on my art like every day. And then I structure when I socialize and that kind of thing. So yeah. And finally, I started the book, there's a book called Grit. And in the book Grit, she talks about how talent isn't, Stephen Pressfield picks up on this as well. She says, like, grit is more important than talent, and I agree. Like, basically, like, a daily work ethic, but then putting in breaks as well. Taking breaks makes you more productive. So, just letting you know that. But, yeah, so I'll link to, like, Grit's a really good book about having a work ethic to help you get through tough times and help you become an artist. And then the 5x50 productivity formula, I believe is what it's called, by Brendon Burchard. That's the thing that really helped me a lot in structuring my day so I could have a day job and work on my art at the same time. So, but yeah, Stephen Pressfield's books are really good. They completely changed my life. I would recommend all of them. I definitely consider him like a mentor. I would not, oh, and when he sent me that care package, it had his address on it. And I think I kept the envelope because I'm a fangirl. But, yeah, when he sent me that package, I was like, his address was on the package. So, like, if I was, like, a little bit bananas, like, I was like, I can't believe he sent me his address. But luckily, I'm, like, a safe, nice person. I'm not just going to randomly go to his house. But I was just like, wow, that was really trusting of him. So, because there's his address, like, right there. But yeah, like, I think working on your art daily is how I feel, like, bliss. So I totally recommend his books, The War of Art, or, yeah, all the fiction books I recommended are really good too. And it's good stuff. So Stephen Pressfield is my favorite author. So to anyone out there, follow your dreams, make your art. The world, we need it. We need art. We need your music. We need your movies. We need your whatever your medium is. We need it. Yeah. And to quote Stephen Pressfield, we're struggling here in the trenches, so we need the works that you produce. So yeah, make art. And read Stephen Pressfield, because I think his books are great. Okay, I'm Julie, writer and director of the indie nerdy comedy Geek Loves Punk. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my website below. If you join my email list, you get access to a free course on how to finish your creative projects faster. Also, you can like, subscribe, ring the bell. I also have Patreon. I have a tip jar on a Cash App. Any way you want to support me, or you can just join my email list for free, and you get free access to stuff. You also get a coupon for anything I'm selling on my website. So, but no matter what, thank you so much for watching, and just remember, yeah, you should, that's stirring in your heart and soul. You should listen to that and make your art. You know, it could save someone's life, like legit. So, believe in yourself. You're awesome, and make art. Okay, thanks so much for watching. I'm Julie. Talk to you later. Bye.